couple of things new here. Well, the Thompson GBBR is finally coming into Europe. It will be available in something like 3 months. Should be available early in the summer for around 350 euros. So finally, it took us some time. We had to find the right distribution purpose, but this is it. And we are very proud to show the latest model of Desert Eagle, the L6. It's the basis we had with KWC. We just showed them how to build this final version. You can see that the grip is completely new, and the double rail Picatinny rail. We still have some work to do on the switch, which is not the latest version, and they will be available in I think it's for back to school. So once we've settled the hammer. Yep. We still have also the two previous models from IWA. We were amazed by the reception of the public, and so we didn't think it would be well received in Europe. We were wrong, so people really requested it, and I'm happy to say that they will be available also in 3 months in Europe. This wall is very interesting, 6 hour, and well, Glock, you know, only for France unfortunately, but on both of these walls we are extending our partnership with IWA. You know how Cybergun R&D works. Either we started a product completely new, like what we did for the Glock 17 in Okatsu, which is a derivation of our Glock 17 for training. The design was completely ourselves, and it was assembled by VFC. And sometimes we work in a different way. For instance, when a manufacturer sends us a new product they want to have official license for, our R&D reviews the product, see if it fits the proper quality standards. If it does not, we send a couple of modifications to well, have a better durability, better performances, more realism. And when we finally have a sample that fits the standards, we release it to the general public. So that way it takes time, but that's how we make sure we have the best products. And here with W, we are starting to work very closely with them, and we will be releasing the P229, P226, P228 that were used to be standard WE models, and we've made some modifications to them. Most of change of a bit small changes of the internals, and they will have, of course, the official markings and will be released very soon, so in a new version. I'll tell you more about those in a couple of weeks. Glocks, really fast, doesn't interest you, I know, Sweden, sorry. But the same goes, it's WE products that we have bettered, upgraded in partnership with them. We will be releasing the 18C 34 Gen 4, 34 Gen 3, the 19 Gen 4, 17 Gen 4, and the small guy, the 42. We still have problems with this. It's a VFC based model, really hard because it's so small. For durability, all the time you may have problems with some small pieces. So we are trying to find a way before releasing it to have like the better quality possible. But again, only for France. New stuff. One of our former employees decided to start his own shop, and so he's very talented and started his own customization company. So he uses laser to customize the products, and most of like what you can see in the, for instance, fashion industry, where I don't know, you have a Stan Smith, you're a Stan Smith fan. Stan Smiths have been around for so long. So how do you puff up, you know, the models? Well, you start very limited quantity collections, and that's what we will be doing with G-Tech. So we'll be releasing the F2000. Customized F2000. This is one of the first prototypes, and we will be slowly releasing new products, very small quantity, between under 50 items. FN, you know, is one of our best pals licensors. We get along so well with FN. We are working hard here on bringing their latest product, the FN 509. Unfortunately, the first prototype couldn't make it for IWA. It was supposed to be there, one of the stars of the show. Couldn't see it now. Unfortunately, we will be telling more about it soon. You know, it's the one that was supposedly running for changing the pistol of the American Army. But we still have two models that we'll be releasing, the FNM4 and FNM16, the ones that replaced the Colt version as duty weapons of the American Army. And if you can follow me, guys, you may have heard that we released a holster that we wanted to be as adaptable as possible. So we released the Adaptix. This holster, that's the promise, will fit over 300 models of handguns. Over 300 models, whether they are real weapons or replicas. And it fits in 6 steps, very easy steps, explained on the box. You don't need like a complicated manual, you don't need adapters or anything. It works, and it works so well. The only thing that you may reproach to it is that you won't be able to fit your gun with a, let's say, a flashlight or any additional accessories like this for a Picatinny rail. We are working on the new version that will come out, we hope, next year. But this one, if you will play without accessories, will work perfectly for over 300 models. Colt, there is one thing with Colt this year that I'm really proud of. I'm a big fan of Nicky Larson, City Hunter, I think in English. So I'm a big fan of the Chrome Python. And it's a model we used to have and we discontinued because of pricing, and we found a new way to produce it. So we'll be bringing it back. And for the Walking Dead fans, we'll be also releasing the wooden grip model. So we are arriving at the part that I dread always, the FAMAS wall. As you can see, the valorized FAMAS is not here again this year. I can tell you a little bit more, give you some updates about the project. We started working with a new manufacturer. We wanted to have a lot of things inside this new FAMAS. There is one that we have developed for the training of the French Army. We want to have a FAMAS for some teams and try some new things, some innovations for Airsoft. For instance, we have now a magazine, AEG magazine, that doesn't pop out BBs anytime you take out your magazine. One of the innovations that we wanted to bring to the FAMAS Valorized. So we needed a new manufacturer, start completely something new. And unfortunately, we had some differences with the manufacturer, differences that were not intended by Cybergun, and we had to completely reboot the project. Trust me, it saddens us even more than it saddens you. So we are doing everything we can to bring you guys the FAMAS Valorized as soon as we can and as the best as we can. You know that we didn't really have a lot of sniper rifles at Cybergun. It's something that we want to change, and we have one of the best licenses for that. It's PGM Precision. It's a French brand, very famous amongst snipers and sharpshooters, and so we are bringing back one of these. Unfortunately, I won't be telling you much about it because we're still finalizing all the details, and it was shown here for our business customers. So more to come after. And you're aware that Cybergun started back in December 2015 when we received the Glock license for law enforcement and military purposes. we started developing our own products for training. The Glock 17 was the first one that we made. It was the first Glock ever produced that was on a 1:1 scale, so it fits holster duty. It was validated by Glock. We had a lot of requirements to meet, and one of them was that we had to over 10,000 or 15,000 rounds before anything broke. So huge amount. We tried to use the Stark as a basis. It didn't work at all. So we had to redo it completely ourselves. We used a steel spring guide, steel hammer block, a whole lot of internals are CNC built, and the slide is full aluminum CNC, so one aluminum block made with the laser. So ultra durable, ultra strong, reliable, and performances are so great that we decided to bring all of these innovations to the mass market version, that is the Glock 17 Inokatsu. That's what we want to do with Inokatsu, is bring the best of what's in the professional training world to the civilian market. Lately, you may have heard that we sold the 6-hour SP 2022 to the French military police. So we now equip all of the police schools, and I'm glad to say that we will be releasing this version of the SIG Pro, so the SP 2022. This is one of the first prototypes of the civilian version. We still have some months of work on it because this is an adaptation of the professional training version. The professional training version is a bit more expensive, so we have to do some changes to adapt it to the public. But the price will be the same as the Inokatsu version. It will be 200. The Glock 17, sorry. It will be around 250 euros. And this one, for once, will be available all around the world and not in France exclusively. If you want, guys, we can go inside. I can show you the training products if you are curious to see, even though it's not for a civilian market. Yeah? Okay. So here you are in the training area where we showcase the Spartan products we have. The Spartan Military and Law Enforcement is our dedicated training division. I was telling you earlier about the Glocks. So this is the blue slide Glock that we sell to some police units. It's the Glock that we designed and that is assembled by VFC. From what I hear, it's now also the version that Humarex buys, so it's nice to see that Humarex recognizes our hard work. This is unfortunately available only for police, but this is really where the Cybergun R&D works, and this is the one that's been sold to the French military police. So again, full aluminum CNC slide, a lot of, most of the internals are steel, and we've had the big challenge was to have a great consumption, great performances, and have the best durability possible. But we've been able to do that, and so we've been able to sell to the French military police. We're still working on different products, especially designed for training. You can see some of them here that I'm not allowed to talk about for now. But most of the innovations that come to this will come at some point to the civilian market. One thing that was interesting, we wanted to develop on the civilian market, and we weren't sure if the players would be eager to receive that. All our training pistols use 10 grams CO2 cartridges. We do not use 12 grams. We have here a decompression chamber that allows to use the same type of magazine. It's just an adapter that you come to plug. And using these cartridges allows us to use and train. It's really for them. It's not to play. It's not to train. You know that with this 12 gram CO2 cartridge, you can use your pistol until a temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. With a 10 gram CO2 cartridge, you can go below -5. So you have more temperature, to which better environment and better performances because of the decompression chamber. You have a steadier flow of air being ejected.
Rapporteringen presenteras i samarbete med Wise Guy, Röda Stjärnan, Tactical Store och Malmö Airsoft Terräng Malmö.